Hi, does anyone else really like moss or lichen? I foraged some and transplanted them in my backyard today.
Nice.
Always thought it would be nice to have a moss patch in the shady part of a garden for laying down on.
Moss, lichens are based. Take the stone crop pill. T. Washingtonian.
Lichens are great, even the most common ones you can find in urban areas delight me. Many species, especially rare ones, are only found in woods, sometimes deep in woods, because they're so intolerant of pollution. I've been meaning to visit the Olympic Peninsula to look for some species.
Neatest thing about lichens is that they're not one creature but three. Plant, fungi, and bacteria all living in symbiotic harmony. That's pretty cool.
I love that. Though really, it's more like the fungus trapping and cultivating the photosynthesizers than harmony. They provide physical protection and support, but the algae/bacteria can survive without the lichen, whereas the fungus part can't exist without lichen. This makes non-clonal reproduction extremely rare with lichen, as they need to incidentally start growing with the mix of organisms all in the right place. Most of the time they just flake off tiny bits of themselves with a complete set of organisms all ready to go.
Kinda cool how it can grow like a wave. I wish I could see a time lapse over the years.
That's all thick comfy moss and it's so soft it's insane. Also the area is deceptively large. I could have laid there and had room to spare.
I don't like moss. It's soft and smooth and soothing, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is coarse and rough.
I have tons of moss and lichen around my property. Had a really cool pick of some blooming. The flowers were the width of a pine needle. I'll have to check if any are blooming again.
Whoever figures out how to cultivate lichens in a lab is definitely going to get a Nobel Prize. The damn things are a mystery.
Actually, the third component of lichens that likely directs the structural growth and production of secondary metabolites was recently discovered and described. It was definitely a groundbreaking study, and was published in Nature, but no Nobel Prize. With this information it may become possible to grow lichens in the lab from the separate symbionts, but Basidiomycetes are very poorly studied, so it may be some time yet.
Lichen taxonomy, name a bigger fucking meme.
As a lichen taxonomist, I honestly can't.
Moss is awesome. You know about the buttermilk and blender trick. If you want a surface to be coated in moss, this works better. The finer the moss is, put some in a blender with some buttermilk and a little powdered kelp fat for food. Then, pour it over the rock or bare patch or whatever you want it on. This worked 3 of the 5 times I tried it.
My dream yard is shady one covered in moss. Hopefully I'll be able to afford a house before I'm too old.
I love moss. I grow it in my barrel ponded type I found growing in the wild, and it does quite well.
Yes. I fucking love moss. I remember as a kid I tried to buy a plant pot of moss from a garden center. I was confused as to why my mum said I couldn't buy it and it wasn't a plant for sale.